Pack Nation, we'll give y'all a second to get in here because we need to talk about how Justin Gainey is making moves. I mean, I said it in the live yesterday. I would give Justin his props if he could get Carolina back on the schedule for a second game. Now, my man did not get it as a home game, unfortunately, but I will take the neutral site because that shows me that you're not running from the smoke. You're not ducking any smoke. He gets it. I've seen people say, "Oh well, it might have been the government that wanted to enforce it or some mess like that." Uh, Look, they've had bills 2024, 2025. None of that stuff has passed yet. Okay, so they're not laws. They can't enforce it. Once they do, it'll make more sense. This was a move without that. All right. And for me, I just wanted to get a quick, you know, idea of how people were feeling about it. But I will tell you, I love it. Even though it's in Greensboro, I love it. It's not far from Raleigh. It's a drive that can be made. So no problem. Right. We're talking about two first year coaches who seem to be embracing the fact that this is a rivalry. The fans care about it. Some of the schools, which I say one of the schools cares about it. It seems to me Carolina might care a little bit about it because they could have flat out said no. So we need to stop all this. It's not a rivalry because it's important enough to play a non-conference game, right? We know the money, the impact that's going to have. And then the ACC doesn't get their bite out of it. That's huge. Huge for both schools because the game is going to sell out, right? It's going to sell out. So I like this part. See y'all chiming in. Let's see what's going on. Alex, how we doing? Says, hey Gary, you surprised Cordier signed a contract with Houston Rockets? Listen, I'm not really surprised. I was hoping he was going to get drafted somewhere in the second round, but I know my man is super turnover prone. Look, we've had these two-way contracts before, right? Taquavion was probably our most recent one. They go to the G League back and forth. I'm not getting too excited about it. I'm not too hopeful because a lot of times they don't pan out, unfortunately. And I'm not saying in general. A lot of these two-way contracts work. They just don't seem to work out for Wolfpack guys. Burns might have got a two-way also. I don't know. It's something about our guys in two ways. They end up overseas and not in the league. Jarkel Joyner's hung around in the G League, but yeah, not too happy about that. Foster says we're gonna make that 190K back and then some. Even if it'll feel like a road game, we should never have to go another year without playing those bozos twice. You have a point. Listen, the money is already made back easy. You're right. And I'm not quite sure it's going to feel like a road game. It really might feel like a neutral site. It's going to be a good amount of each fan in there. And to think, the following year, hopefully, we get them coming back to our spot. Like it just makes so much sense, man. I'm just excited that either Gainey or the universities decided they're not going to lay down and let the ACC play in their face like this, because it was getting really, really disrespectful. I mean, it still is. Just because we have this game scheduled doesn't mean that it hasn't gotten disrespectful. The disrespect is crazy. It's almost like spitting in our face. Like, yeah, nah, get out of here. So this right here is sort of like a spit back. Like, no, okay, so you don't want to get money in your pocket. We'll take care of it. We'll go get it on our own, right? And if they stretch this thing out to a mini tournament of the triangle, or adding in Wake Forest or any other schools regionally, that's gonna be a nice little thing, man. Hopefully we get this thing figured out, because I like the revenue that it will generate. Alex says, I'm just surprised that we scheduled a non-conference game when it's two conference teams. Didn't even think that was allowed. Is there going to be 3 games against each other now? Also, nice shirt. Thank you. So no. So we did it in football with Virginia, right? You can schedule a conference team for a non-conference game. We would not be playing them 3 times on purpose. So if we had them as a home and home, that's gonna be it. All right, we'll play at their house, play at our house, and we keep it moving. But there needs to be 2 games. So that's why this had to come in play. It will be nice if we add Duke, right? That would be lovely, but that's highly unlikely. That's us being greedy, but I would take it. If he adds Duke in the mix, because Duke has their own little deal where they're doing like Amazon games or something like that, some type of special, contract there. But man, if we could just be like, look, we don't care what the ACC is talking about, we're going to play out 2 rivals, that would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. I do want to say that, my comments, I try to do a good job of answering as many people as I can in the comments, on my content. And what is coming to my attention is that some of you are just watching that particular video that you want. You're on that and that's it. Because you comment to exactly what I said at that moment. And I've said in previous videos how I actually feel or yada yada, and there's none of that there. And I'm answering sort of like repeat questions. So I want you to feel free to binge, watch as much as you want so that you can get a good idea of my stance on specific things like Kevin Keatts. Because after yesterday, a lot of you think I think Kevin Keatts was the greatest coach of all time, which is not the case. But it does not change my stance on he did not get the resources he should have after going to a Final Four, because people were just tired of him, right? And so, I get that. We were ready for him to go. He had plenty of time to show us what he could do. And then once he did it, he went back to his old ways, and we let him go. But no one can argue that after going to a Final Four, which none of our other coaches had done, did we give him the resources to be successful? We were like, nah, we're going to keep you handcuffed. Do it again. And of course he couldn't. All right, let's see. Jack Simpson says, what are you hearing about the team so far this summer? Look, I don't know if you saw the little clip from practice recently where Gainey is getting on the guys and everything. Just from that, there's accountability, which is a good thing. EY not getting a rebound. He's doing 5 on the side push-ups or whatever. I don't know how often that's happening, where they're having to do that, but at the minimum, they'll be strong, right? Everybody's hearing Ed Mead is the guy. Nobody's taking that starting spot from him. I will tell you what I'm not hearing is Paul McNeil is the bona fide leader. He's going to be the most amazing thing ever, yada, yada. Like what I would want to hear based off of how he's getting paid. But you never know. Maybe they're just trying to pump everybody else up first. Jakari, I am hearing, I heard his name in practice and he seems a little timid, didn't want to shoot at the time. The way coach is talking to him, maybe there's an adjustment of him having more confidence in his game. But I don't know. You just can't read in too much just yet. So I'm just waiting. Hopefully we'll continue to get clips, because what people write and then what I actually see on the court, it doesn't always match up, right? So So we just got to wait it out and let more of these practices happen. David says, take Duke as a second game as well. Absolutely. James Johnson, I believe there is a mandate per the state of North Carolina that state and UNC must play. Correct me if I'm wrong. James, that's not uh it's not a law yet. It has been 2 times proposed, but that is not in place just yet. So they do not have to play 2 times. Hopefully it's coming. Tried it in 2024 and 2025 budget wise, and that way they'll get I believe it's like some of the money from one of their gambling things, sports betting. So if that once that goes into place, whenever that bill is actually passed, then both schools will generate revenue from sports betting, which is huge. I don't know what the holdup is. We need to get that done because that's a lot of bread. It changes everything for these 2 schools. But it's not in play yet. So to answer your question, yeah, no, that's not it's not a mandate. Alex says, I'm calling. We are going to play Duke 3 times this year, twice in the regular season and once in the ACC tournament. I don't know how we're going to play them twice we only play Duke once in the regular season and possibly in the ACC tournament. But if you're saying we're going to add that Duke game and we don't know about it yet, keep speaking it into existence. I would also say make Duke and Wake a part of that mandate. I'm not really pressed about playing Wake. Like, maybe this is how Carolina feels. I would say maybe it's how Carolina feels about playing us, but I don't think so because the NC State Wake game does not sell out. Right? When we go there, it's not sold out. And when they come here, it's not sold out. So I'm not really pressed about that game. It's really only Carolina and Duke that those games get. And again, it's not a real sellout, but for us, it's close to sold out as possible. Right? Without all the corporate mess that we talked about yesterday. So, yeah, but I get you trying to include all the local teams. Jack Simpson says Duke and Wake aren't public schools, so the legislature can't control that. Exactly. They cannot. James Johnson, let's get that done. Good for NIL and athletics overall for both universities. Yeah. If we could get that sports betting revenue coming in, man, that levels everything for us. Like but again, I spoke to this yesterday. The money would be there. Will we spend it? Will we put it in the right place? Because y'all know we good for sitting on money and just holding on to it for dear life, like it's never going to come back from any other avenue. Alex says the big 3, not the big 4. Right. I hate to leave Wake out, but I'm just not concerned with them at all. So ironically, I actually saw a few people that didn't like we were playing Carolina at a neutral site. And I couldn't wrap my mind around why you would think it was not smart or any of that. Like, I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Carolina to come play us in a non-conference game where they can't make any money off of it. So the neutral site almost makes sense. Because we probably already, I mean, next year we don't know if they're going to set us up as a home and home. They could after seeing this and be like, oh, well, we missed out on this money, so we'll make sure we do it right next time. And if they do, then you can't do the home home. So that's all of that is just crazy. So you have to go with the neutral site. And I'm okay with that. But still, some people are talking about this not being a game they want because it's at a neutral site. Only wanted it to be a home game. I'm not with that. Get the money. Some of this money is better than none. And as we said earlier, that 190 that we paid to get out the game, we already took care of that. Now we can add some other stuff. Cool. And we didn't want to go play Wade's game anyway, right? I mean, those his boys over there. We have no connection with that. We don't want that. Play our own schedule. Let me get caught up with you all here. King Comfort says, can't wait to see us land some marquee home games. I feel a few coming for sure. Kane, look, I have my fingers crossed that we get some better home games. Like, because they're trying to get season ticket holders to renew their tickets by next week, right? And unfortunately, I've told you all, I already did mine, so whatever. But if you're a season ticket holder waiting to see, it's kind of what do you call it? Clutch time for whoever's making the schedule. Like everybody involved, you got to get busy here in the next few days to get your fan base sort of excited for these season tickets. I'm not saying we're not going to show up at the games, but if you want to pre-sale these tickets, you need more than what's on the home slate right now. You need to get that stuff out there. So, Kane, we're going to see. James Johnson says ACC schedules are whack. Play Cal twice makes no sense. Believe we get Carolina twice next year. Probably. No Syracuse on the schedule this year, from what I understand. And I'm cool with that. Listen, I'd be fine playing everybody from, I guess, South Virginia and South. Like, I don't need to play Boston College. I don't need to play Pitt. I don't need to play anybody out west. Maybe SMU, Cal, or Stanford. I don't need to play Syracuse. Like, squash all those games. But we have them. So maybe those teams get a little bit better in due time. David Johnson says the revenue for home games would benefit state more. It would. Yeah. That's why hopefully we can get some home and home schedule out of conference. Bigger teams from other conferences that are willing to come to Raleigh this year. Alex says, I feel like it's interesting playing a non-conference game, but now I feel like after this season and the next seasons, we're going to see a lot of this with other teams. Yeah, it's going to be like a blueprint because if you can get these games scheduled and your conference is not playing you, which the ACC might be one of the worst ones at doing this, but if they're not putting the right rivals against each other, schedule it non-conference and make money without the conference being able to dip their hand in it. I think that's, if you can get everything lined up, TV and all of those other things lined up, do it. It just makes so much sense. Like, I don't know what the downside would really be with a rival. Kane says, Corey also said that they will be splitting the tickets 50-50, so hopefully we have a somewhat even fan turnout in Greensboro. Yeah. Yeah, we know Wolfpack travels. So, and for that game, you're going to see people make the trip. And then especially for the ones that are, maybe other side of Winston-Salem, even outside of Charlotte, state grads might even make that drive. You never know. Clyde Gaddis. Why I want to face UNC 2 times. Do you want to say, why do we want to face UNC 2 times? It's more about Well, first off, it's your rival, so you want to get two chances at them. Second, you want the revenue. We would prefer that to be a home game, but playing them at the neutral site is way better than not playing them at all. Like just playing them one time at their house. It makes sense financially and exposure wise. Like I'm gonna tell a recruit now you playing Carolina twice compared to, oh yeah, you only gonna play one time and it's at their house. Like it's just a lot that goes into that. Like we need to keep the rivalry going before that thing dies off with the ACC and that you never. What if the ACC was like, look, we're not even gonna schedule y'all to play Carolina next year, right? So we go from playing them one time to not playing them at all, which would be crazy. Alex, I meant like playing conference games as a non-conference game. If I was unclear, by the way, I understand. David wants to bring back the Big Four and be done with it. James Johnson says, but the game is the game. Neutral site, wherever. Let's just kick Carolina's ass. He separated that out for me. That's what matters. Win. That's the only thing that matters. We win. Everything else will fall into place. I hear you. I hear you. Hope so. That's all I say to that. Hope so. Clyde Gaddis says, let's see. All right, so I seen Duke men basketball team. They look like monsters. If y'all play Duke at state, man, they will still probably beat y'all. And probably would. I mean, Duke is so far ahead of everybody in our conference right now, talent wise. So they probably would beat us because we know Gainey went out and got dudes that are really, really going to have to play up this upcoming year. They're all going to have to be better than they were last year in order for us to be decent. And if we had Duke in Raleigh, what we could say is we made a lot of money off the game, even if we caught an L. And you roll that into next year, hopefully. You grow from it, right? Hopefully you don't get embarrassed. But, it is what it is. The fans will show up for it, regardless of if Duke is ranked highly and we're not. We show up for that game. And we've had upsets with Coach K on the sideline. We know Shire give up leads. So it's all we always got a puncher's chance. Can cover this random question, Gary. As long as a longtime state fan, what's the best piece of gear in your closet? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I do not know. I would have to look. I'm pretty sure it's some type of t-shirt, or maybe like a long sleeve or something like that. It could even be a hoodie. It depends on the time of year for me to answer that. How about that? David Johnson says we haven't played Duke twice in a while. Yeah, it has been a hot minute since the conference expanded. I think it's been a good minute since we played them two times. James Johnson says, well, all depends on how our team gels with Duke if we played them at home. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. People underestimate us already. Exactly. And Alex says last time was the 23-24 year we played Duke twice. 23-24 we played them twice? Wait, we played them twice, like once in the regular season, and then we played them three times that year, right? Or you saying we playing twice in the regular season? Check that for me, because I'm like, that would have been our Final Four run. All right, Clyde Gaddis says, my sister is the UNC fan, and she told my Duke cousin to play off of real because y'all be making shuts out the scores. What? Clyde, I'm trying to follow you on this. I'm gonna read it how you typed it. Okay. Send another message in the chat because I'm gonna read this. My sister is the UNC fan, and she told my Duke cousin to play off of real because y'all been making shuts out of the scores. And the only reason, just to give chat an idea of why I'm trying to understand this, my Carolina friend that I've told y'all about, he texts like this, right? And sometimes I'm trying to, I have to speak his language and then I can get it. That's why I'm spending this much time on this message. But this one, I don't think I could figure out. If y'all can understand what he has said, please provide clarity if Clyde does not do it himself. Thank you. James Johnson, exactly. Duke, known for choking. And I presume we will see more of the same this year. Talented enough to win the chip, so we will see. Look, I've said it over and over again. Shire was handed this program on autopilot. All my man got to do is just show up and be on the sideline. I mean, like, honestly, he's getting the best players because of the Duke brand and the money. He really don't have to do that much recruiting. The players know, oh, okay, they can easily go straight from there to the league. They don't have to stay there a long time. It's a school with a great education. Like, it's not a hard coaching job when you're getting top level talent like that on autopilot every year. So, but where you do see the coaching come in is when he gets in these big games with the schools that are on his level and he get leads, which is wild. Like, I've never seen somebody blow so many big leads, 19, 20-point leads year after year. Pack, you know, if we had a coach like that, y'all would be livid. Like, it, I mean, to have that type of talent and lose those type of leads in the tournament at that. My man had Cooper Flag and Con Knipple and still didn't get a national championship. And both these guys were running for Rookie of the Year in the NBA. I mean, it's wild. David John says we always punt Duke in big games. They want no parts of us. This statement right here, David, this is a bar. Okay, you are spot on, and it a lot of it comes down to we normally have the older team between the two teams, right? So when they come to Raleigh, even when Coach K was there, they lace them up. They see that environment is loud because wherever, you know, whether it's PNC, Lenovo, or whatever, it's rocking. And these freshmen get shook. And we run them out the building early most of the time. It's not a game where we go the entire game and then we squeak it out. It's normally a butt whooping if we're going to win, right? If we're going to lose, we're going to lose. But if we're winning that game, it doesn't tend to be 1 point, 2 points. It's like, oh, it's convincing because these freshmen come in not ready to play in that type of environment. That's what ends up happening. Oh, okay. I could think you were talking about the game and playing Duke twice. I should have read that first. Let's see. All right, Clyde. You said I mean t-shirts. You said you mean t-shirts. My sister, USC fan, she told my cousin to for real because y'all been making t-shirts. Okay, y'all been making t-shirts out of the scores. Okay. Part of it's making sense now. I remember a coach choking down the stretch. Will Wade, absolutely. The worst. Had me stressing on my live. So glad he out of here. David Johnson, K underachieved a lot too. So many McDonald's All Americans and choke constantly. All right, so look, I'm gonna leave this one alone because hey, Coach K is Coach K. I'm gonna leave this one alone. If that's how you feel about it, okay. Alex says, remember when UNC blew a 19-point lead to VCU? Ooh, I do. I mean, being injured ain't an excuse because, but to be fair, Duke had their star point guard coming back from surgery. But again, no excuses for anyone. Look, that like you said, that wasn't the first time though. That's not the first time they've done this, blown a lead like that. It's almost like you can bet on it. They got these little apps now where you can bet on random stuff to happen. I would bet on John Shire losing another 20-point lead this upcoming season. It's what it is. Clyde Gaddis asks, hey, NC State can't make the tournament like Duke and Carolina. Shoot, my Georgia Tech team can't make it. Hey, NC State can't make the tournament like Duke. In Carolina, shoot, my Georgia Tech team can't make it. Yeah, you got me. You got me, Clyde. I don't understand what you're saying there. We can't make the tournament. James Johnson, Shire going to screw it up. Just watch and see. He's going to pull victory right into the jaws of defeat with the best player in college basketball. Look, yeah. I don't even know who they have coming in this year other than, the Rippy that we wanted. I actually saw somebody talking about Rippy starting. And I'm just like, I don't see how I don't see how he starts. Like I know he's supposed to be a real talented kid, but he's got a lot in front of him unless they play through two smaller guards. Like I don't know. We shall see. That would be if he does it. He was way better than we thought he was. Because their guards over there, they still got the Boozer, and I forget their other guy who was coming back from injury, like you said, playing the two guard spots. So I don't see the time. King Conferences got to give you hella credit, Gary. You was skeptical away from the jump. For real. Look, I don't even want it. I hate to have that type of credit because I was going to the pit, to the weekly shows, asking this man, what are you doing? Like, why are we not utilizing our so-called talent better? What are you doing? And he was like, yeah, we're going to look at this. We're going to do that. Yeah, we should do this. Something I thought about. Yada, yada. He never made any changes. Not one thing he said he was going to do, did he do. At that point, I was like, something ain't right. This is weird. Maybe he's not as good of a coach as we thought he was. Maybe it was just he was cheating. Well, we're going to find out. Like, if if he's at LSU this year and is killing it, which I think is highly unlikely. But if he happens to do that in the SEC, then, whatever. Maybe he just needed more money. But I think it's going to be a long season for him. I think it's going to be a long career for him going forward. Take that back. Might be a short career for him going forward. He might not be a head coach that much longer because he could be at LSU or nowhere else. James Johnson says Shire going to screw it up. Just watch and see. I covered that already. I'm sorry. Let me see. Okay. I don't know if you watch MLB, but Duke is like the Pirates of the MLB. I'm a Pirates fan too. I don't watch baseball like that. Sorry. Clyde says, hey, I can't let nobody talk about Coach K because I met Coach K, even though I was a Georgia State fan. Okay. I mean, I hear you. I don't have any problems with Coach K, honestly. I have nothing negative to say about him. Can't compare State to Duke. State doesn't get the talent Duke does. Duke is a college all-star team every year. That's what David Johnson says. I agree. If we could get, I'm gonna put it like this: if we could get one player of Duke caliber every year on our team, compared, forget the 5 or 6 they keep rolling in year after year. We could just get one each year. I'll be fine. Give me one McDonald's All-American every single year, one 5-star every single year, and we good. Maybe every now and then we'll get greedy and get 2, but if I had 5 or 6, man, that is crazy. Like we wouldn't know what to do in Raleigh. We'd be like, no national championship, boo, fire the coach. Like we already fire them after they go to Final Fours. You think if we had 5 All-Americans, we wouldn't ask for that dude's head? Man, Shire would have been gone already because we would be crazy out here. Ella says, how many more roster spots do we have to fill? Do you think we have walk-ons? It's like 2. And I'm assuming the next 2 guys are probably going to be non-contributors. Like maybe walk-on or just developmental pieces for down the line. Like nobody that's going to be what we're talking about. Unless, like we mentioned in yesterday's live, we find some magical money that we got hid under our pillow, in our sock, somewhere in the closet, and we go get one of these guys from Michigan to jump in the portal. Outside of that, it's not happening. Gus McCray says, we need money. We need top players. That's what it's going to take. Otherwise, it's just the same old story. You're right. But guys, let's talk about it. You know this. Our fan base knows this. Our school knows this. We need the money, yet all of our alumni, I'm going to say all of our alumni, a lot of our fan base and alumni are saying, well, when we start winning, we'll start, contributing more to NIL, right? So it's like, okay, I got to win with hardly anything. You want me to get blood from a turnip. Once I get the blood from the turnip, then you'll hook me up, but not until then. It's a crazy approach, man. And our fan base is operating like we've given all the resources you need to be successful in this day and age when everybody's NIL is twice what we're working with. It's unfair. Not realistic. James Johnson says, State don't get all Mickey D players. We do what we do with projects. There are no projects on Duke. Like I said before, college all-star team. Yep. King Cover says, Rippy's supposed to be number 1 point guard in the nation, so he might start. We will see. Listen, even the number 1 point guard in the nation, we're talking about a freshman out of high school, undersized, like he ain't but like 6'2" or something like that, right? Number 1 point guard in the nation on a team that brings in number 1 to number 5 point guards in the nation every year, right? You got Boozer already there who's starting to play better. And you got the other guy that I'm drawing a blank on his name. If y'all know his name, you can put it in here. He's going to be the leadership He's flat out their best guard. Like it's not even. I don't care. He's not as athletic. His IQ is through the roof, and he's strong. Which most freshmen come into AZ. I mean, you can have some show muscles, but you don't have that grown man strength yet. So that's why I'm like, I don't see Rippy sliding in starting. Rotation, cool. But starting, I don't think the Boozer twin is that bad, Joe. For him to get his spot taken like that. James Johnson says, Shire gonna screw it up, Washington State. Am I reading this same thing over again? Or are you reposting that? Because I'm like, I could have sworn that I scrolled past your comment already. Maybe you just want us to know. 8:30. Yeah, I think you're just reposting. That's his name. Alex, you're right. Foster. Caleb Foster is going to be the starter. Hands down. King Cover says, I heard some high school recruit might reclass and come to state, but I don't know the latest on that. I heard that too. He's supposed to be a big, right? Like 6'11 or something like that. I don't understand why he would do that at this point. Before we got Shaw Hall, I could see it because it's like, oh, you probably be in a rotation, you maybe need it. At this point, I don't see why you would do that because you might end up getting redshirted or getting hardly any play time at all. You only got 5 years to play now, so yeah, I don't know that that'd be a smart move for him. MK Jean says put Gary in the game. You will go get those Michigan players. Kadovia would. Hey, look, that's funny. I appreciate that comment. I mean, we owe Carolina for that. Like, just we've gotten some of their players before, but I feel like they didn't really want them, right? So it's sort of like a pattern. When they don't want a Carolina player, we can go scoop them up, and they be decent players. It's not we getting flunkies. Cadeau, any other time I would take him. But for me, Elliot Cadeau is a player that needs very good players around him. If you put weapons around him, he becomes elite. Okay. I don't think we have the enough talent for him to be good at NC State, which is why I would not want him. He looked very pedestrian at Carolina all those years. And then he went to Michigan with 3 first-round picks. And then all of a sudden, he looks great, right? He's got lob threats everywhere. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I don't think he's that great. His shot is suspect. He can beat you off the dribble. He fouls a lot. So at NC State, he gonna fall right back to the means of what he was. And I don't want to see that. Like, I don't want that version of him because then Carolina let us have it for even taking a chance on him. Give me a second, guys. I'm being caught up on your comments here. Alex says we don't want Cadeau no more. He doesn't have a good reputation with state, at least not for me. Okay. So James John says, you mentioned with Coach K, this is a continuation on your Coach K comment. Coach K, his coach teams right out of natties as well. He tightened up in the clutch against Louisville, Arkansas, and UConn. My thing is, he does have multiple championships though, and he did go back to back. Of course, he had a squad when he did it, but I mean, he was able to get more than one, right? He was able to get a few. So Shire got to get over the hump, man. Like my man had Cooper Flag, and was not able to get that. I mean, honestly, talent wise, that's probably going to be the biggest gap in college between for Duke to have the top player and somebody else for a while, right? Because now everybody got the loot, and it's starting to be like, all right, we're going to spread this out. SEC getting busy, and Big Ten, in the Big Ten. So it's like, that was your chance. Now, I don't know. He might have missed this little window for a while, for a good minute. Like I said, the Spurs choked their NBA team. Yep, they choked too. But they got time. They'll bounce back. And you keep, NBA is completely different because you're keeping the same core together a lot of the time, right? The same starting five, maybe six together. This college game is just a different squad all the time. Gus said, "You guys talking about Duke choking? I wish you had that record over the last 20 years." Hey, look, I hear you. I'm the same way. Like, I would love to have the players and running through the conference and ACC championships, but we know over time you're going to be like, all right, we expect more. We already expect more, and we ain't even been winning. That's the crazy part. Like, we expect more from 40, 50 years ago. So imagine if we were winning ACC championships consistently. Man, Shire be on the daggone hot seat in Raleigh. Oh, he can't get it done. He can't get over the hump. After following a Coach K, yeah, it'd be a wrap. David Johnson says, Caleb, not gonna try his last name just yet. Is the project big they're talking about? Yeah, 6'11", 245 rim running project. Yeah, I'm like, he needs to stay in high school. I don't think he needs to reclassify to come up to state unless it's about getting in the weight room, getting stronger, get more familiar with the offense. If he really wants to hit his freshman year running, hit the ground running, then maybe. But if he's trying to play, this ain't the year. I have not seen Abel's latest comments. What did he say? I don't really pay attention to that cat anymore. It's like a Duke live at this point. Let me see what y'all talking about over here. Caleb, Flag, Knipple. All right, David Johnson said, if you're not Duke in the ACC, you are a project laden team. Nobody else on that level of talent wise. Their talent is on a different level. Hands down. They have separated themselves. Yet they still do not have a national championship since Shire has taken over. That's just, it's crazy when you think about it. If you think about how many draft picks they've been putting in the NBA each year over like the last 5 years, it's crazy. James Johnson says talent is the difference between state and Duke, period. If you got elite talent, coaching will take care of itself. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the elite, here's the thing, the elite talent that covers up coaching or the lack of coaching. And then light is shed on the coaching once both teams have elite talent. That's what we see. You get a coach, coaching freshmen who have not been in certain moments before. Coach needs to take over, and it doesn't happen. Or you see a coach just like, look, I know what to do. We've been here. I've prepared these guys. If they're not prepared, I know how to calm them down, and then that happens. So coaching becomes big, and it matters even with high level talent. If both teams are talented, if one's just that much better, you can sit down and drink water and Gatorade the whole game. So, look, guys, I am going to get off of here. I really just wanted to chime in with y'all and see how we were feeling about adding this Carolina game. The vibe seems to be high. And, of course, we are going to chat again as soon as we hear about the rest of this schedule because they have to add some home games that are better than what we have so far if the season tickets want to get sold. But please, keep chiming in. Leave a comment afterwards. Share the channel with your Wolfpack family. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, go Pack.